given you description of communities, that what are the uses of communities, how many types of communities we have. By default, BGP will never carry community information along with BGP updates. If we want that BGP should carry this community information along with its own update, then we have to enable it, right? So now to prove all these things, what can we do? I will move on New York router. First of all, I'll teach you that how can we allocate communities to your prefixes. Let's say New York router is advertising all these prefixes from its own AS towards BT, British Telecom. So what I want, that New York router should advertise all these BGP updates, all these prefixes in the direction of BT with the community, let's say with community 10, with community 10, or you can say with community 20. Even like you can also add multiple communities as well. You can also add multiple communities. So I will be I will perform all these practicals now. Fine. The thing is, like, all these prefixes have been advertised by New York router itself, right? So what I want now, that it should add some communities onto all these prefixes, right? Or you want to add community on some specific prefixes only? What do you want? On all prefixes or on some specific prefixes only? Let's do one thing. Let's configure community for first two prefixes only, right? So for doing that, first of all, let's create IP prefix list. Let's say its name is CCIE, and then permit 192.168.100.0/23 greater than equal to 24 and less than equal to is also 24. Route map COM community permit 10 match IP address prefix list name is, then say set community. You can set communities during two situations. One, when you are applying your route map for your neighbor in both directions, in outbound or inbound. Second, you can also allocate, you can also configure communities to your prefixes at the time of redistribution as well. Set community 10, and then it is also possible to allocate more than one community as well, but right now I'll allocate only and only 10. Now you have to allow all other prefixes as well without any community. So you have to create another statement for the same route map. Permit 20, don't match anything, don't set anything, and then finally router BGP 8127, because New York router is running 8127, neighbor 80.1.1.1, route map name is COM. In which direction? Out or in? Because this is this router, this New York router is advertising prefixes in the direction of BT. So I have applied this route map in outbound direction. Fine. Then after, say do clear IPBCP star out. So that now we must start to receive these prefixes onto BT with the community is only first two prefixes, right? On BT, first two prefixes must come with community 10. Are they coming with any community value here? Tell me, are they coming with any community value over here? No. What's the reason behind it? Because by default BGP will never carry community information along with its updates. Understood or not? That is why here what is happening actually, that when New York router is advertising updates in the direction of BT, it is not including community information, because this attribute is an optional transitive attribute, right? Optional means it will never be carried forward within BGP updates without forcing your BGP without enabling it. So now, because from New York router I want to advertise this, from New York router I want to advertise this community information from New York to BT, is not it? So on New York router I have to do this configuration as well, that neighbor 80.1.1 send community, which one, standard or extended? We are using here only and only standard. So I have configured this command now on New York router, that neighbor send community standard, right? Neighbor's IP address and then send community standard, and then after on New York router itself say clear IP BGP star out. Now if you move on BT, and on BT if you check it out, see show IP BGP, it is receiving all prefixes. In BGP table it will never show you that which prefix is containing which community value, but if you open it in detail then it will show you. See, now it is coming with community 10, and now further this BT will advertise these prefixes in the direction of R5 and R6, and as well as in the direction of sprint. So if you move on R6 now, show IP BGP, it must receive all prefixes coming from coming from BT. If you open it, show IP BGP 192.168.100.0, does it have any community information? No, because as I said that from outgoing updates communities will always be stripped from your BGP updates, BGP outgoing updates, if you have not enabled it, because on BT we didn't configure this command that towards this neighbor send community. That is why from its outgoing updates it is stripping community information, right? So it is always mandatory to enable this feature for each neighbor. Now you do one thing, move back again on BT. On BT you are running 35500 and then configure 201.100.100.6 and then say send community, which one? Standard. Then in same manner say neighbor 200.105.100.5 and then say send community, which one? Standard. And then as well as you are also having neighbor 101.1.1 send community standard. Fine. Now move on R6. See, again it is receiving all prefixes here, but if you open 100.0 community 10, but and in 101 also you will get community 10, in 102 you will not get anything, in 103 you will not get anything. And now further what will happen, that on R1 you will not get this community, because on R5 and R6 we have not configured this command to send community towards R1. Show IP BGP 192.168.100.0. Do they have? No. So once again we have to move back again on R5 and say router BGP 65500 neighbor 150.1.1 send community standard. Say clear IP BGP star. Is not it? Have you understood it now? So in this way you can carry your BGP, your communities along with BGP updates. So I just configure this community only on New York router, and then after I just configure send community, right? But if you are advertising any prefix from R1, then of course, and if you set any community onto that will not be propagated in the direction of R5 and R6. Remember that if you want to advertise your community information along with BGP updates towards your neighbor, you have to configure this send community command externally. You have to enable it. So now R5 and R6 can transmit community information along with BGP updates towards R1, but still R1 cannot transmit any community information in the direction of R5 and R6. Have you understood it or not? Even we can prove it. Like what can we do? On R1 interface loop back 101 100.1.1. Fine. Router BGP 65500 network. Fine. I think I have to advertise 105 as well. Oh, I have advertised it. I have it. It is there. 100.1.5.0 is there. So I have already advertised it. Now it is advertising all these prefixes in the direction of R5 and R6. And one more really important command in BGP that we can use for troubleshooting as well, like show IP BGP neighbors 150.1.5.1. With using this command, you can see that which prefixes are advertised or are going towards this neighbor. So from if your router is advertising all these prefixes towards your neighbor, it means that problem is not, and let's say that neighbor is still not receiving all these prefixes, it means problem is not existing at your own end. Problem is existing on another end because you are advertising all these prefixes from your end. In same manner, we are also having command received route, but for that you have to enable that feature. I will be discussing it later on, that in which case and why is it required to use that received command as well. I mean, you can also see that from which neighbor you are receiving which prefixes. So these commands are really important in BGP in perspective of troubleshooting. Fine. So in this way you can see that it is advertising all these prefixes. Now let me configure one community value over here. Like first of all, okay, this time I will not create any prefix list here because I will configure community value for all prefixes, right, for all hundreds prefixes. So I'll say route map, name is once again COM, permit 10, set community, which one, 100. Fine. I will not match anything, that's why it will remain as match all. And then after I will say router BGP 65500 neighbor 150.1.5.1 route map name is, and then clear IP BGP star Now move on R5. Sorry, show IP BGP 100.1. Does it have any community information here? Because we didn't configure that command, we didn't enable it on R1. So on R1 you have to configure these commands as well, that neighbor 150.1.5.1 send now go back to fine. And then when R5 and R6 will advertise these prefixes in the direction of BT, of course again community value will not be there. So in this way we can propagate community's information along with, in BGP actually you can say. By default, that's why this attribute is considered now it's having neighbors like 200.105 send community neighbor I think 205 dot 100.10 and send community which one, standard, and in that also you have to specify this standard community, right? And then after move on R6 as well, here also configure this command now. Let me open this hundreds prefix. See, it's receiving, just wait, clear IP BGP star in. Now you see community 100 is coming from where? From 6. Community 100 will come from 5 as well, R5, but community is not coming from sprint US, because on sprint US I didn't configure this command that send community towards BT. So I hope that you people have understood that how can we allocate community and how can we force BGP to include community information along with BGP updates. Now the big question is, what is the use of it? Definitely I'll teach you that how can you use all these communities, how can you use all these tag values, but first of all you must understand that how can we allocate them to BGP prefixes, right? So then after it, let's move on New York router once again. If you want to put, if you want to allocate more than one community, do show history, just go to your route map, along with the set community 10, say 20, say 30 as well. Say do clear IP BGP star out. Move on BT, show IP BGP. Fine. Okay, forget about it. Now I'll teach you that how to configure named community. Do you remember yesterday I teach you that, okay, how, which are, we are also having some well-known communities, well-known, and we can call them by their name. However, in the background of their names they are having their decimal values, right? So as I told you that we are having some well-known communities like no advertise, no advertise, no export, local AS and internet, right? So let's say that my requirement is this from New York router, that New York router do not want to let BT to advertise these prefixes towards anyone. I just want to configure New York router in that manner so that BT must not be able to advertise all these prefixes like 192.168.100.0, 101.0, 102.0 towards any other neighbor, towards Sprint or towards, tell me. I mean, I don't want to let BT to advertise these prefixes towards any other neighbor, whether it is IBGP or EBGP. What can we do? On New York router itself, I configured here some communities. You see route map, this, match this. Just remove this command from here and then say set community no advertise. So if you advertise any prefix with community no advertise, and if any router receives any prefix with community no advertise, then that router will never be able to advertise all those prefixes towards any other neighbor. So this time, because we configured this community only for first two prefix 100 and 101 only. So let me show you. Do clear IPBGP start out, sorry, on PT right. So now you are on BT and you are receiving all these prefixes coming from your neighbor New York router. Let me show you. So IPBGP 192.168.100.0. What is this? It is coming with community no advertise. And what does it mean? It means now BT is not advertising this prefix towards any other peer. In same manner 101, in same manner C102, it does not have any community. That is why that message is not mentioned over here, that not advertised to any other peer. That is why if you move on R6 now, do they have 100 and 101? In same manner you can move on Sprint US as well. Do they have 100 and 101 over here? So I hope that you people have also understood the uses of this community as well, not advertise. So remember, if any router is receiving any prefix with community not advertise, no advertise, then definitely that router will never advertise those prefixes towards any other neighbor. Hello. Understood? So this is that how can you configure no advertise. Then after it, let's say that I want my neighbor, I want to let my neighbor to advertise prefixes towards its IBGP neighbor but not to its EBGP neighbor. Let's say I am giving some prefixes from BT to R5 as well as R6. I'm going to disable the connection in between Sprint and BT here to prove this practical, right? Let me do one thing. I will move on BT and router BGP 35500. I will say neighbor 101.1.1 and just set it down. Fine. So this time BT is advertising. Let me do one more thing here. From New York router, let me remove this community from here first of all. Just remove it, and in place of it say set community what 10. That's it. And say clear IPBGP start out, and once again it will start to advertise all these prefixes towards all other, right? I mean this BT means BT will start to advertise all these prefixes in the direction of R5 as well as R6, and then R5 will advertise, and R5 and R6 will advertise these prefixes towards R1 as well as R5 will also advertise it in the direction of Sprint. So this time Sprint is receiving these prefixes coming from, tell me, R5. See, good. Now what I want, that if BT is giving any prefix to R5 and R6, then R5 and R6 must be able to advertise prefixes towards their IBGP neighbor, but not to their EBGP neighbor. And in most of the cases, ISP will advertise prefixes towards customer with using this community, so that my customer will not be able to advertise my prefixes towards any other ISP. Just try to understand in this manner. Let's say this is your customer, this is ISP1, and this is what? So if ISP1 is giving any prefix towards, is advertising any prefix information towards customer, definitely ISP1 must not allow its neighbor customer to advertise these prefixes towards ISP2. And if ISP2 is giving anything to its customer, then this customer must not be able to advertise those prefixes towards ISP. So you can achieve it by using this community, no export, actually, no export. So from BT I will advertise prefixes towards R5 and R6 with using community no export. So do one thing, move on BT, and because again I will configure this community for all prefixes which are advertising in the direction of R5 and R6. So I will not require to create any prefix list or something like that. I'll simply say route map COM permit, then set community export router BGP 635500 neighbor 201.100.100.6 route map COM neighbor clear IP BGP star out. Now remember that if I am configuring my community in this manner, if these prefixes were already having some community value, it will replace that. So you see, prefixes were coming with community 10, but now in place of 10 it will put no export. Let me show you on R6. So IPBGP, now all of them are coming here. See, 100, 101, and if you open them, right? All of them. In same manner, it will be present on R5 as well. Then R5 and R6 will also advertise these prefixes towards R1. No export, no export. But these prefixes must not be available on Sprint. So there is a very simple rule that if you are receiving any prefix with the community no export, You can advertise those prefixes to your IBGP neighbor, but you cannot advertise them towards your EBGP neighbor. In same manner, you are having local AS. Like if you are advertising any prefix with no export, then at least BGP can advertise these prefixes towards confed EBGP neighbor. Towards confed, I mean during confederation. Do you remember that during confederation we were having confed EBGP neighbor? So now it can advertise these prefixes towards confed EBGP. Now let's say that you do not want to let your router to advertise your prefixes towards any EBGP, whether it is confed EBGP or real EBGP. Then use local AS community. This time with using this no export, your router will not be able to advertise these prefixes towards real EBGP neighbor only. Fine. So I hope you people have understood it now. So on BT now you can also set community local AS in place of no export. So I hope that you people have understood that what is the meaning by no advertise. Even from BT you can also advertise your prefixes with using community no advertise. And if you are advertising anything with using no advertise, it means now R5 and R6 even they will not be able to advertise those prefixes towards their IBGP neighbor R1 as well. Because if any router is receiving any prefix with the community no advertise, it means it will not advertise it towards any other peer.
Sir, आप 5 और 6 पे अभी भी send community वाली command है.
Of course, we have already configured. Prefix क्या है? Send community तो मतलब सभी के लिए काम करता है. It will not be like it will work for a single prefix or something like that. No, it is working for that particular neighbor. Guys, have you understood it or not? So basically, you can use these communities in terms of route filtering as well. Like in this way, you can perform route filtering. Now I'm going to remove it once again. I will not use it for filtering and all these things, right? So I will move back again on BT. Do show history. Route map and remove it. Let me set what? It will replace existing one. It will replace existing one. See, clear IP BGP start out. Move on R6 101. See, 100. Even 103 is also coming with community, and this time you can find all these prefixes on Sprint as well. Fine, guys. Now let's say that BT wants to configure its own community before advertising prefixes towards customer network rules technologies, but this time we do not want to replace the existing one. This time we do not want to replace existing one. So if you do not want to replace existing one, and also you want to put your own community onto, inside the existing community list, then you can also achieve it by using this keyword. Like on BT, you configure this command inside route map, set community 20, remove it, and then say set community 20 and add keyword additive. So it will not replace the existing community in community list, it will simply add it. It will simply add it. Now say do clear IP BGP star out. Now you see, because on BT we have configured it for all prefixes going towards R5 and R6. So if you move on R5 and R6, if you open prefix 100.0, there will be two communities now. 10, which was, see, and it is appending it, as we mentioned, prepending and appending. So it is appending it, because 10 was added first, then 20, but 10 is coming first and 20 is coming after 10. I mean, it is reversed to your AS path list. It is reversible to your AS path list. In AS path list, the leftmost AS was the latest leftmost, right? Rightmost was that, rightmost AS was that AS from where your prefixes were originated. But here it is reversible to that, right? So in this way, and one more thing, I would like to open 102 as well and 103 as well. In 103 you will get only and only 20, because UK router was not advertising these prefixes with any community value. New York router was not advertising these prefixes 102 and 103 with any community value. That is why here you will get only and only 20. Try to remember, from New York router we advertise communities in first two prefixes only, whereas on BT we have configured it for all prefixes, right? So in this way you can configure your communities. Apart from it, let's say from BT I don't want to advertise any community information, community value in the direction of R5 and R6, then you can also do this configuration of BT. Do show history, remove this command from here, and then say set community none. Set community none. It will not add any community, and also it will remove the existing one. So now it will start to advertise all these prefixes in the direction of R5 and R6 without any community. However, in BGP updates, community attribute will still be there, but inside community list you will not find any community. Wait, let it receive prefixes first. I see. Does it have anything? Move back again on BT. From 1 to only 20. In same manner, if you move on R1, fine. Now this is that how can we add, how can we configure communities to your prefixes. At the time of redistribution also you can add communities to your prefixes, because you can use route map, and in route map you can use set clause. So after doing this configuration, now let's discuss that how can we use that. What is the advantage of configuring community, right? And let's do one more thing. From BT, let's advertise some more prefixes as well, from BT as well. So from BT, What can we do? Loop back 201 200.1.1.1, or let's say 201.1.1 202. Fine. Router BGP 35500, network 201.10. Show IP BGP. Check it out. We have advertised all these prefixes from here, right? And one more thing now, previously from New York router we were advertising community only for first two prefixes. Now I will advertise for all prefixes, right? I will modify my route map. So do show history. Yes, just remove it. So that all prefixes will be allowed over here only, right? And we also created another statement of the same route map. So I have removed it because now I don't need to create any other statement of the route map, because in very first statement everything will be permitted. And then say do clear IP BGP star out. So move on BT now and show IP BGP 100.0 is 10, 101 it's 10, 2 it's 10, for 3 as well. It's 10 for all prefixes, right? Now if you move on R1, it is receiving 201's prefix as well as 192's prefixes, right? So show IP BGP 192.168.101.0, 10 and 20 both of them are there. Show IP BGP 201.1.0, only 20 is there because they are not advertised from New York router. Now here for all prefixes its best path is via, see, whether it is 192 or 200 series prefixes, for all prefixes its best path is via R5. Let's say I want to perform manipulation, but I want to perform manipulation only for those prefixes which are coming from New York router. For all those prefixes which are coming from New York router, its best path should be via R6. Fine guys. Now I know very well that New York router is advertising its own prefixes with community 10. So what can I do? I will not require to create any prefix list. I will simply say IP. Now in same as ACL or prefix list, you have to create community list. You have to create community list. And if you create community list, we have two types of community list. One is standard, one is expanded. One is standard, one is expanded. The main difference between standard and expanded, this is not like ACL standard and extended, right? It's not like that. Here the main difference in between standard community list and expanded community list is regular expressions. In standard community list you cannot use regular expressions, whereas in expanded community lists you can use regular expressions. I hope that you people have little bit idea of regular expressions before now. Regular expressions like you used during languages HTML and all. In language of HTML might be that you have already used those regular expressions. However, here also I will teach you that how can we use regular expressions. I'll teach you some regular expressions, but remember that if you are going to use expanded community list, then you must have knowledge of regular expressions. So here I will not teach you expanded community list. First of all, I'll go for only standard and then its name, or you can also take number community list as well. From 1 to 99 it is standard, from 100 to 500 it is expanded. So IP community list standard, let's say its name is test. Permit or deny? I wanna say permit because I wanna match that. because if you take deny, it means it will not match that. So say permit your community number now. Your community number. They were coming with, that's it. So IP community list standard name is test, permit community number 10, tag 10, because all prefixes that who are coming from New York router, all prefixes who are coming from New York router are containing tag value 10, community value 10. Route map. Let's say I want to change weight. Permit match community and community list number or name. Name was set weight. How much? 50. Ignore it. And for all those prefixes which will not match with your community list should also allowed with the default attributes. So you have to create another statement of same route map with permit sequence number higher than 10, and then apply this route map. And for which neighbor you will apply this route map? For R5 or for R6? R6. R6. Why R5? It's already having its best path. So 6.1 route map name was So now you don't need to memorize your prefixes, that okay, this prefix is coming from this AS. How can you memorize? One ISP can advertise like 10,000 prefixes or more than that. Have you understood it? But remember that each ISP will advertise their prefixes with a dedicated community, with a unique tag, and then further you can use those tags just to match your prefixes. Understood or not? In same manner you could also use them for route filtering as well. Like I want to filter them this time, I don't want to see, just like you manipulated weight, you can also configure local preference. You can also do whatever you want. You can configure origin code, MAD and all these things. Now do one thing, remove it from here and say no route map wait. Create another route map, name is filter. Let's say that I want to filter all those prefixes which were coming with community 10. So I have already created that community list. So I have to say route map filter deny 10 match community was test. Hello. So in route, see, in community list they were permitted, but here it will be denied in route map, right? And then you have to allow all others. So filter permit, and then you can apply it for both neighbors. Router BGP neighbor 150.1.5.1 route map name is, and then you can also apply it for, say, do clear IP BGP star, do show IP BGP. Check it out. So finally the uses of community is just to match your prefixes. It's just to match your prefixes. Now this is that how can we use standard community lists. Let's talk about regular expressions now. First of all, let's talk about regular expressions. Fine guys, so first of all let me remove it from here. Fine, all prefixes are coming here. Then let's do one more thing. Let's advertise some prefixes from Sprint as well. Let's create some loopbacks over here, like loopback. See, all 125 prefixes will also come, don't worry. Will take some time because the minimum time interval in between to advertisement is 30 seconds for eBGP network. All of them have came here now. I'll teach you regular expressions now first, and then after I will teach you expanded community list. So in regular expressions you are having some characters. You just need to know the uses of those characters, like, just give me 1 second. Hello. So yeah, I was telling you some uses, I mean meanings of regular expressions. See, like if I'm saying carrot, it specifies the start of the, or you can say beginning of the line. Beginning of the line. Dollar. End of the line. Underscore. This is underscore, right? Underscore means any, whether in the end of the line or in the beginning of the line. If you have put underscore in the beginning of the line, it means it can be any I mean there can be anything in the beginning of the line. If you have put it in the end of the line, then it means there can be anything in the end of the line. Dot asterisk, it means all, or I will let you know later on. You just right now you just need to know about these three characters only. These three characters are really important: caret, dollar, and underscore. Even it will be enough for you guys to understand only these three characters only, the uses of these three characters only. And now I'll show you that how can you use them. Like if you are going to see your BCP table, let me show you. If you are going to see your BCP table, right now you are having some of the prefixes only, but if you are having like 200,000 or more than 200,000 prefixes available in your BCP table, will you see your BCP table in this manner, like okay, show IP BCP this? I got a point. So of course in that case it won't be possible for you guys to see BCP table in this manner. So to solve this problem, we are having regular expressions, as I said. So basically, to see your BCP table also, you can use regular expressions. Let's say I wanna see only those prefixes which have been originated from AS8127 only, which are coming from 8127 only. It means the rightmost AS inside AS path list will be 8127. Rightmost, I mean end AS inside the AS path list. So you can see your BCP table in this manner. See, show IP, BCP, regular expression, and then in the beginning of the line there can be anything. So I will say underscore, and then 8127, and it must be in the end of the line. So what does it mean? That your line can start with any character. That's why I have put here underscore, but it will end with 8127. That is why in the end of the line I have put dollar. If you put any wrong AS here, now let's say I wanna see only those prefixes which have been advertised from my own AS. I mean which have blank AS path list. Which have blank AS path list. Show IP BGP regular expression in the beginning of the line and in the end of the line. I have not set anything. I have not mentioned any number. What does it mean? In the beginning of the line, nothing. In the end of the line, nothing. Overall, it will be blank. And of course, if prefixes have been advertised in your own AS, in same AS, they will be having blank AS path list. It was advertised from R1, I mean from our own router. Now if you wanna see all those prefixes which have been originated from AS 21545, which have been originated from 21545, right? Show IP in the beginning of the line, any, you can also see, like I wanna see only not 8127, 21545. I wanna see only those prefixes which are having 21545 inside AS path list. Doesn't matter where it is. Doesn't matter. It can be in the middle of the AS path list. It can be in the beginning of the AS path list. It can be also in the end of the AS path list. However, you could also see, because they are coming from this AS only, you can also see in this manner as well, like caret 21 and then now I wanna see only those prefixes which have been originated from 35500 BT. You can see that. Show IP BGP. Of course, and in the end of the line you can mention underscore. So regular expression, it means if 35500 is available anywhere in the AS path list, it will show you all those prefixes. But if you wanna see only those prefixes which are having only and only 35500. Only and only 35500. In that case, it must start from and it must end with so I hope see, if you are using your regular expressions to see your BGP table, if you are using regular expressions to see your BGP table, then it will check only and only AS path list. Then it will work as per AS path list. Try to understand now. Your name is Arun. Take water. So if you are using regular expressions to see your BGP table, then it will give you results or it will check your AS path list only. But if you are using regular expressions for your community lists, then it will check community numbers. If you are using regular expression for community list, then it will check only community list. Communities, it will match communities, not AS path list. Fine. So this time, let's say on R1, I'm receiving all these prefixes. They are coming with some communities like show IP BGP 192.168.100.0. So I wanna match all those prefixes which are having 10 in the beginning of the community list. I wanna match all those prefixes. Let's say I wanna filter all those prefixes which are having 10 in the beginning of the community list. So you can achieve it by using expanded community list in this way. Try to understand it now. IP community list, expand it, Cisco. Deny or permit? Permit from here. I'll do it permit and then further I will filter it, right? Permit, then it will ask for regular expression. So caret 10. In the end of the line, it can be anything. So this time it will look at community list, not at the AS path list, because this time you are using regular expression for community lists. So if you are using regular expressions for community list, then it will look at community list. If you are using it for checking your BGP table, then it will look at the AS path list only. I mean, it will give you results as per AS path list only.
By default, the AS path भी लेता है.
No, by default. There is nothing like by default. See, there is very simple. If you are using regular expression for community list, then it will check community list.
अगर वो नहीं,
If you are not creating community list, you are checking your BGP table with using regular expression, then it will check AS path list. It will give you results based on AS path list. Then next is here you have permitted it, right? And then after, create one route map, deny 10, match community Cisco, permit all others, router BGP neighbor, do clear IP BGP star, see 201 is there because they are having 20 not 10. in the beginning of the line. Hello. So in this way you can create your community lists and you can use them to match your prefixes, and then further you can take any decision. You can filter your prefixes as well as you can manipulate their path selection by modifying their attributes. But finally you will be using communities just to match your prefixes. But after allocating communities, you have to create community lists to match your prefixes. There is no command inside route map that match community 10, match community 50, nothing like that. You can match only and only community list. In community list you will be matching your community numbers. Have you understood it or not? Fine. If there is any problem, please let me know.
रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशन यूज करके वो रूट देख सकते हैं जिसमें कम्युनिटी अदर्स एंटिटीज हैं.
Of course, not with using regular expression actually, but there is a command. Let me show you. Router BGP 65500. Let me remove it first. This route filtering. Once again, all prefixes are there. Now you see, show IP BGP community. Now there are two things: community list. If you are calling here community list and then community list number, it means that as per community list also you can see your BGP table, but as per community also you can see your BGP table. Let's say 20, all those prefixes which are coming with community 20, 10, which all those prefixes which are coming with community 10 only. So as per communities also you can check your BGP table. Fine guys. Then after, if you want to remove any specific community number from the existing community list, that is also possible. However, it is not possible to remove any AS path from the existing AS path list. But in community list, you can remove any specific community. Let me do one thing. From New York router, let me add some more communities from here. Route map this and set community 10 along with that 20, 30, 40. Fine. And then say clear IP BGP star out. And on BT, where is route map? Route map is this. Set community 20 additive, remove it. Set community 50, right? And then say additive, because from New York now I'm advertising with 10, 20, 30, 40, right? So now you see show IP BGP, all are there. Now check show IP BGP 192.168.100.0. I think on BT I have to configure this command as well. Clear IP BGP star out. Oh my god. Yes, now changes must be there. Fine guys. So now all this prefix is coming with community 10, 20, 30, 40. Now I want to remove this 30 only. I want to remove this 30 from this existing community list. It is also possible, right? For doing it, first of all, let me show you show IP community list. Let me remove it. No IP community list test as well as standard test
extend.
Oh, right. Clear IPBGP star in do show IPBGP. Everything is there, right? All prefixes are there. I wanna remove only community 30 from the existing one. We can do that. To do that, create one community list on R1 because I wanted to do it only on R1, right? Community list standard permit standard is, we can also take its name as well. Community list 1 permit. Hey, if you are taking any number in between 1 to 99, it means it will be automatically standard community list. 1 permit is what? 30 because I wanted to remove it, right?
Okay.
After creating this community list with permit statement, create route map. Sorry, yes, it is. Create one route map now. COmm permit 10 because I don't want to filter route. I want to remove only that community 30 from the existing community list. Then say set COmm list because you want to remove it. That's why you are using set. You are not matching prefixes this time. So set COmm list and then community list number 1 delete and permit all other prefixes as well, but I think all other prefixes will be permitted automatically here because we have not denied anyone, right? Hello.
Yes.
We have not, because match all is there and permit statement is already there inside the route map. The only thing that it will remove community 30. So router BGP 65500 neighbor 150.1.5.1 route map name was COmm in. Then also apply it for 6 as well. Do clear IPBGP star in. Do show IPBGP. You must receive all prefixes. See, all of them are there, right? But if you open now 100.0. I teach you so many things in communities now. How to add community, how to set community with additive keyword. Also taught you how to remove all communities from the community list with using set none. And also have taught you to remove any specific community number from the existing community list. It can be required anywhere. I'm an ISP, I'm receiving some prefixes from my neighbor ISP, but I don't want to receive those prefixes with that community number because I don't need that community number at all. I can remove that. So this is all about communities in BGP.
What is the use of this last regular expression?
What?
Just
Don't worry, I'll be doing that. Now, apart from it, let me do one thing. Router BGP 65500. all of them are there. No IP community list 1. No route map. Nothing. This time what I want, that all those prefixes which are coming with community 20 anywhere in the community list must get filtered out, and all others must be permitted. I can also achieve it in this manner as well. IP community list expanded test deny anywhere 20 underscore 20 underscore. It's not it, whether in the beginning of the line, in the end of the line, in the middle of the line, wherever. If it is having 20, it will be denied. To permit all others now, say permit dot asterisk, because you have to permit all others as well. Are you getting my point or not? You have to permit all others. And now you can create one route map over here. Route map. Let me create it with name of filter or what? Route map name is, I think we are having so many route maps over here. So route map. Oh my god. COmm filter is there? No. So we can create route map with name of filter. Permit 10 match and community list name was. This time you are not required to create any other statement of the route map. You know why? Because whoever will be denied by your community list will not match with this statement of the route map permit. It will be implicitly denied. And whoever will match with this statement of the community list will come here, will be permitted. Same as ACR. Hello. So this time you are not required to create any other statement of this route map. So do one thing, router BGP 65500 neighbor 150.1.5.1 route map name is what? Filter in which direction? And in same manner you can apply it for 6. Say do clear IP BCP star in do show IP BCP. Check it out. Is it having any prefix which was containing community 20? All others are available. So I hope that you have understood the uses of dot asterisk. Fine guys. Done. So in this way you can use it. Apart from it, apart from community list now, communities are done. It's completely done. There is nothing left in communities now, right? So let me remove it. All of them are once again there. Fine. Same like here we created community list. In same manner you can also create AS path list with using regular expressions. AS path list, and you can use AS path list to match your prefixes, and it is same as community list, but the difference is in AS path list it will be looking at AS path list only. It will match your prefixes based on AS path list. Like in community list it was matching your prefixes based on community's value, community values. It's not it. But in AS path list, AS path list is also same as access list and community list, but in AS path list it will be matching your prefixes based on AS path list only. So now I'll teach you that how to create AS path lists with using and one more thing, in AS path list you can use only and only regular expressions. There is no like standard AS path list. So how can we create AS path list? You see, IP AS path access list number can be anything in between 1 to 500. Let's say I have taken 1, and then it will ask for permit or deny. So what do you want, permit or deny? Let's say you wanna permit, because you want it to match prefixes only, right? And then it will ask for regular expression. So which prefixes you want to match here, which have been originated from 8127, which have been originated from 8127 or from 35500 only? Okay, if you want to match only those prefixes which are coming from 35500 only, I mean which have been originated from 35500, it means that the rightmost AS must be 35500, and in our case leftmost will also be same, right? But I will be taking in this way, underscore 35500 and then dollar. However, we could also take caret as well. There will not be any difference. But in case if 35500 is behind some more AS's, then of course you have to use this Q. Is not it? Because in the beginning, of course, there can be any AS, but in the end of the line, it will be 35500. Fine.
Use control V to enter question mark.
Forget about it. Route map name is filter, and here you can say then match AS path, and then ACL number was 1. To allow all others, create another statement of same route map with higher sequence number. Oh, sorry. Router BGP 65500, neighbor 150.1.5.1. Route map name is. In same manner, you can apply it for if I do not give this another statement of the route map, will it be possible to allow all others? So in T-shoot, they will play with these small faults. Might be in community list, they will deny. In route map, it will be permitted, but in community list, they will deny that. So you will require to deny. I mean, you will require to permit it in community list. And one more thing, you cannot modify community list because there will not be any sequence number. Let me show you. Show IP community list. You cannot modify it. It will be better for you guys. See, show run pipe section IP community list. Just copy it into Notepad, remove it from here your device, and modify in your Notepad and copy and paste back from Notepad to console. You cannot edit community list, you cannot edit AS path list. Fine. So it will be better for you, copy it to Notepad and remove it from your console, and then modify, I mean edit in your Notepad and then copy it from Notepad back to console. Understood? So now clear IP BGP star in show IP BGP. See, 201. Because they were coming from AS 35500 only. And one more thing that I would like to tell you here, it is also not necessary to use route map along with AS path list. I mean, it's not mandatory. Once again, all of them will be there. See, you can apply it in this manner as well. Router BGP 65500, neighbor 150.1.5.1, filter list, and then your AS path list. 1 in which direction? You can also apply it in, say, in for 6.1 as well. So along with AS path list, it is also not mandatory to use route map. You can directly apply your AS path list per neighbor basis as well. Where is 125? Show IP AS path list. Okay. Because I permitted only those prefixes which are coming from AS35500. I mean, in the end of the line, if they are having this value, then only they will be allowed. All others have been filtered out. Is not it? You could also say, like you can say no IP AS path access list 1, and then create once again IP AS path access list 1, deny only those prefixes which are coming from 35500 only. So caret $35500 and then $. Then IP AS path access list 1 permit any dot asterisk, and this time say do clear IP BGP star in do show. So only those prefixes are not having which were having only and only 35500 inside their AS path list, and all others have permitted. Any problem? Right? So in T-shoot you have to be very careful with these things: community list, AS path list, in their regular expressions as well. Right, guys? So I have taught you that how to use all these regular expressions along with community list as well as AS path list. So the difference, I mean, the uses of regular expression is common, like it will match beginning of the line, end of the line, I mean the characters in the beginning of the line, but which line, community list or AS path list, will be depending on your list. Like if you are creating community list, it will look at community list. If you are using it for AS path list, then it will be looking at AS path list only. Even you can also see BGP table as well. At that moment also it will look at only AS path list. See, along with path manipulation, I have also performed route filtering with using route map. Still I have not taught you I haven't taught you distribute list, because in BGP you can also use distribute list as well as prefix list to perform route filtering.
You can also define ranges.
Exactly.
Cases, or like if there is one AS which is 35500 and you want 35600, like based on particular individual number in that AS part, you can segregate based on that also, right?
We did it.
No, like we did it for the entire AS. Like if you were segregating, we took the entire AS number 35500. Say for example there is another AS 35600. So based on that, permit 35500 but deny 35600.
I don't think so.
And range 35.
Of course, see, there are so many things in regular expressions, so many things. Like if you are having, like you wanna match only those prefixes which are coming with AS path list in which they are having 35500 twice. You wanna match only those prefixes. You can also achieve it with using regular expressions, but like it's enough for us to understand. So many things are there in regular expressions, especially those guys understand very well who have already done work on HTML and all these things. Because in HTML you can't perform anything without regular expression, and so many things are there. So many. I mean, you can create some formulas as well with using regular expressions itself. So, shall we continue with another topic of BGP or?